Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is the Parlay. It is a special Thanksgiving Day edition. A day in which we give thanks to not only the little things, the big things, but most importantly, football. A day in which legends are made across the country, on the gridiron, in backyards, in elementary schools, where people go back to their hometown just to get injured and hope that their insurance is still good. Ladies and gentlemen, let me bring in the left side to my strong side, a man who has been known to throw me a couple of touchdowns in the backyards and Glen Haven Elementary School and Evans Parkway, Mr. Awthentik himself.
Hey, what's
Welcome,
good, bro?
sir.
That intro was hilarious, bro. Yeah, we definitely known for a couple of touchdowns on a good Turkey Day celebration, man. So big salute to the Beard one time. One of the best hands I know around the way for sure, man. And happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there in the chat and all the Awthentik and The Beard supporters, man. And just everybody in general, man. Hope y'all eat good today, man. Hope y'all rest well. We were talking a little bit off air about, the dress attire for when you got to pull up on your fam and whatnot. I'm definitely going for the cozy vibes today over the Easter sweaters and shoes. No hard bottoms here. Definitely gonna be wearing some sneakers, man. Gonna be good to catch up with the fam, man. But all is well.
I'm kind of curious to see it because I told Josie because she's gonna come here first. We're gonna do a little small thing with Ma Dukes here before we go to Abuela's house.
Yeah.
And I said, you got to bring me jeans and shoes so that I can get changed here so we can go straight to Abuela's. And I'm like, in the back of my head, I'm wondering, is she going to bring me like my nice Oxblood gum sole Nike high tops, or is she going to bring me the Oxblood hard sole dress shoes? So we'll see.
Right.
But it's going to be an interesting day. We got 3 games that we're going to talk about today. I do want to say, obviously a big thank you to every single one of the people that are here in the chat now, every single person that has been at any chat that we've done over the last 3 years. Like, we try to thank you guys as much as possible, and it's never enough. We literally would not be able to do this if it wasn't for the love
Big
and
facts.
the support of each and every one of you. So every thumbs up, every link shared, every comment, every tweet, everything, every little thing goes such a long way when we do what we do, and it's all because of you guys. So definitely super thankful for that. And don't forget, if you guys have any questions regarding your fantasy football lineups, to drop those in the chat, because we are here to give back to you guys with some of our fantasy football knowledge. So we're super stoked about today's show. Let me go ahead and just say some hellos to the lovely people in the chat. First in the building, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr.
Ooh,
Lucas.
my man Lucas. Wow.
Checking
man.
in
Salute.
all the way from Australia. Says, happy Thanksgiving. Can't make today's show because of work, but we'll watch the replay later. We don't have it down here, but thought I'd still shout out what I'm thankful for, and that's Awthentik and The Beard community. Thank you both for all your guys' hard work and outlooks. Can't thank you enough, Lucas. Matter of fact,
Yeah, that's facts,
Lucas
man.
is going to do some of the thanking for us to the lovely people in the chat in the second $100 Australian super chat. He says, as well as all the beautiful people in the chat, the Sundays, the Waterflies of the world, and everyone else for being so welcoming. Thank you to all. Sending nothing but love from down here on your holiday. Stay safe. Sorry I had to split it over two chats because of letter limits. Lucas, you are the man. And
Big
like
time.
I said before, it's people like you, likes the Sundays, like the Waterflies, like the Laxo Fofos, the Nick the
Yep.
Wicks, everybody
All the
who
day
has been here since we started this journey. And it's just, there's not enough words to thank everybody for all that you guys do, because you guys are just as much as part of the show as we are. It wouldn't really be a lot of show if it wasn't for you guys.
That's
so
facts. That's facts.
you guys are, as Awthentik always says, you guys are not fans, you guys are fam.
Sure.
It means the world to us, and we definitely thank you guys from the bottom of our heart. It is the best thing coming in here and seeing you guys chatting it up in the chat before we even start. It gets me going. So thank you guys.
A lot of people
as
always
always
talking about our show getting ready to blow up and all that. And I always tell the Beard, man, I'm a little bit weary about that because I love the foundation that we've built here already with the family in the building, man. It's been amazing. And it's like, I don't ever want that chat to get to the point where I can't read it and see the homies and the day ones in the chat. And I saw that you could do something where like only subscribers can comment. We might have to do something like that. And then eventually if it get too crazy, it might have to be just the moderators, bro, because like the day ones, y'all super important, man. Y'all are the whole vibe for the Authentic and the Beard show, man. So big salute to Lucas and big salute to all of y'all in the chat for real.
Absolutely. Big shout out to the homie Waterfly holding us down. We appreciate you, sir, as always. Big shout out to the homie Lax O.
Oh, my man.
Says, what's up, everyone? Happy Thanksgiving. And the one and only Sunday, who is always holding it down in the chat everywhere, not just here. So big thanks to Sunday today and each and every day. We appreciate you as
always.
Down
the whole community.
Big shout out to Jay Jean. Says, damn, that was wholesome AF. Just got a speeding ticket, so I ain't thankful for that. I am thankful for the parlay in this community that I periodically participate in. Big Blue Bow Life. Shout out, Jay Jean. Who else we got in the chat? A shout out, Lax Ofofo. Roman's in the building. What up, Roman?
Young Roman.
Says, happy Turkey Day, everybody.
Big facts.
And
what up, Roman?
Super Taj is in the building. What's going on,
I was
Taj?
chopping it up with Super Taj on Twitter, man. Salute Super Taj one time in the building.
Esud says, happy Turkey Day. Hope everyone had an enjoyable day. Shout out to the beginning of the Judge offensive juggernaut.
I
saw who was it? Was it I forget who it was tweeted us about the wristband action going on. Jalen Jones.
Yeah, that might have been Stan.
Who else we got in the building? Shout out to the homie Tommy from the Tommy Bernhard podcast. Says, gabble, gabble.
Shout out Tommy. What time?
Ligma is in the building. Lions or Bears? Oh, my. That's going to be our first game that we talk about. So in a couple of minutes, you will get our official picks. Michael B says, New York Giants. Giants community. It don't matter what day of the week it is. You get on here. You're going to get some Go Big Blue.
Gotta love it. You gotta love it.
Gotta love it,
building
man.
One time.
Got to love it. Big shout out to Stan. Says, Haitian and Beard OGs got the crisp lineup as y'all should. We was talking about
I was telling the Beard off camera, man. Like, I be having to cut my own hair. So that, it'd be taking like 2 hours, man. Like, just trying to fade the back and just be like, is the blend all right? I hadn't cut my hair since probably week 1 of the football season. Been rocking the hat vibes, and I've been in the crib a lot, man, just working in the studio, man. I had yesterday was a real long day in the studio, and I want to shout out one of my clients, man, my homie Maserati Black. If you're not familiar, definitely go check out Maserati Black. He dropped a project last year called Mind of a Man, and he just the wisdom in the bars, man, is just incredible. He's one of my favorite rappers to work with right now, and one of my favorite rappers in general. The song we was working on yesterday, it was called Better Man, and it just the whole vibe of the record, kind of like a throwback kind of style beat with an awesome melody on the hook, man. I'm looking forward to him dropping his next album, man, and definitely check him out. After that session, I had to get right to the bathroom at like probably 10:30 at night, started cutting the hair, woke up dumb early trying to get some of these notes, some of these nuggets right, man. So yeah, it's been a long couple of days here for sure, man. Had to cut the hair going to see the fam today. For Thanksgiving, couldn't show up looking crazy like, I just got off the boat and whatnot. So, yeah, we had to keep it funky one time.
Big shout out to Maserati Black, though. He's an all-around cool dude, too, man. Always
super
been cool, supportive, and everything like that. So big shout out to Maserati Black.
Facts.
Logic is in the building. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, sir. Leroy Will Jones, authentic with a fresh cut.
I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Them scissors. I like the scissors emoji, man. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all pulling up, though, more importantly, yo.
For sure. Big shout out to Easy Lopez, who getting fat today. Listen, I'm already ahead of the game on that project. So,
man, I wish I was there with you, man. Yesterday, I had a breakfast sandwich, right? And then I just went the whole day without grubbing, bro, and like finally got some dinner at night. So I'm trying to get like 3 full plates on this Thanksgiving. And yo, quick pause real quick. Let's just throw this out there so by the time we get to it, we need to know y'all best Thanksgiving dish. We're going to talk about that for a little bit. So y'all get it ready in the chat right now so when we're done with these shout-outs, we can chop it up about that too.
Facts. Big shout out to Dale Kim says, I hope the Lions win because we have the Bears first round pick. I think I saw on Twitter a lot of people are rooting for the Lions today. There's a lot of a lot of people want to see the Lions get their first win. A lot of people have interest, like the Giants fans, in the Bears losing.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of love going to the Lions' way today. I still haven't decided who I'm gonna pick. We're gonna see.
They deserve a win too, bro. They deserve a win.
They've been close on multiple occasions.
Yep.
Shout out to JJ Stangl. Says, we appreciate you, fellas. We appreciate you, sir.
Yep.
Hey, big shout out to the homie Tim, a.k.a. Glock 30 fan in the building. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, brother. Appreciate you coming by and checking us out this morning.
Let me tell you something funny I saw this morning. So I went to go check on the block status of anybody who's blocked on the channel because I got a Instagram message from Jameson like, yo, Authentic, what did I do? What did I do? And I'm just like, yo, let me go see if Jameson's on the block list. He definitely was on the block list. But when I went there, I thought that the moderators list was the block list. And I was like, all these people blocked? I was about to almost make everyone not a moderator by accident this morning, bro. So thank God. I was like half asleep and I looked and I said, oh, that's the moderators. Glock was the first name. I was like, nah, something ain't right here. So thank God. I'm thankful that I didn't hit that X button on a couple of those names for sure.
Big shout out to the homie Paul, the Flippers Sports Guy, says, what's up, boys? Great to see you, sir. Happy Thanksgiving, and congratulations once again on 1,000 subscribers.
Oh, yeah, that's major. It's up from here, man. Rocket emojis from here, bro.
For sure. Blue City Empire Sports. Happy Thanksgiving. Let's go, New York Football Giants. We're going to get killed by the Eagles this Sunday. You never know, man.
You never know, but I'm kind of there with you, man. If the Eagles can play the kind of game they've been playing the last 2 weeks, 200-plus rushing yards back-to-back games, if they get their third one, man, yeah, the Giants really ain't got no shot there. And I'm worried about the play calling situation for sure. You know, it's a shorter week for the Giants. I wish they would have kind of did the firing during the bye to give Freddie Kitchens a little more time, a little more preparation. We saw Daniel Jones with the wristband vibes. He going to be calling them plays like 13. Daniel going to be like, all right, man.
Oh, man, shout out to New York for Life 12. Working today, all day. Thank you for streaming today. Hey, look, that's, I always love it when people tell us, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all help me get through my work day or, like things like that. Like, that's what I love to hear things like that because, I know what it's like to need something like on YouTube. Because, like, I be in the crib and you be in the crib, you know what I'm saying? When you're working, it's like a lot of times, like, there's nobody to talk to. So it's almost like
need a little background
you have
vibe.
that. Exactly. So I definitely feel you, and I'm glad we can provide that opportunity for you. Who else we got in the building today? Man, listen, they say Kid from Kid and Play is jealous.
I'm probably jealous because Kid from Kid and Play had about double on the top by what I got. At the age of 38, I ain't too mad at it, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm not
man,
too mad. I damn near got into a fight one time in Marvin because some little youngin came up to me and he was like, man, keep walking, kid, because I just got the fade. I was like, man, what the hell did you just say to me, bro? I had to keep it pushing because, at age 38, you don't want to be getting into no fist fights, bro, for sure.
Man, I'll tell you, I was telling Jimmy when I was getting my cut, right? I was like, man, look, we're gonna keep the length on the top because look, I know I'm already getting a little receding right here. But like I got the spot in the back, and I was like, was filming a video for the Over the Years channel, and like I looked at it, I'm like, young. Was nobody going to tell me what was going on back here? Like my Dukes, Josie, like somebody could have told me, like, hey, look, back. So like I've been kind of,
It's two types of friends, right? There's two types of friends. You come out, right? You're going out for, good night of drinking or chilling or celebration or something like that, and you got a big booger in your nose or something, right? It's two type of friends. One friend gonna be like, what's that? Another friend, he just gonna let you walk around with that booger all day long in your nose, bro. It's two types of homies.
I'm like, man, nobody was going to tell me that I got this giant bald spot back here. So I'm like, hey, look, man, I'm going to need you to keep it long on the top and the back so I can do the swoop over that spot.
Over.
Can't be having it. Can't be having it, man.
I feel you.
So we got some early entries to some of the best Thanksgiving dishes. Turkey chops.
Turkey chops. I heard them on shout out to Kid Blue and and the Hub, they were doing a Young Gun stream yesterday, and I popped in on there. I think they was already doing a mock draft. I popped in a little late. I don't know. I think they were doing a mock draft.
Shout out to the Hub and Kid Blue, because don't nobody love the mock draft like
they
Kid
love
Blue
the mock drafts, bro. But they were talking about turkey, and both of them were kind of like, I don't really like turkey, and I was like, man, I love turkey. They were like, it's dry, and I was like, man, you got to put that gravy on there. You got to get that gravy popping on the turkey, man. But I'm all about the mac and cheese, bro. I'm all about, and you know, my Dukes got one of the best macaroni and cheese dishes on the planet. So I hope y'all got some mac and cheese over there. And my Dukes, if you're listening, you know, I could use a plate. I'm gonna keep it funky with you, my Dukes. You know what I'm saying? I could use a good plate of macaroni and cheese, man. She had like 7 layers of cheese. You get a scoop of cheese still hanging at the bottom of the bowl. I used to love that, man. But I'm mac and cheese turkey all day. I'm 3rds, 4ths today. I'm about to go ham today. And I'm gonna go ham on the ham today.
Gotta be. I love a good honey baked ham. You know, look, yeah. I'm a funny because, you know, I love my green beans with the bacon grease and bacon fat. You know, like that. I love those.
Not a big fan of the green beans, man. You know,
I love the mac and cheese. Obviously, you know what I'm saying. Like, but I'm a roll guy, a roll / biscuit guy. You gotta have a good roll.
You gotta have a good roll
biscuit.
Yeah,
like that's so important. Like
Facts.
I love it when it's like the layered biscuits, like the Pillsbury boy make like them biscuits where it's like the layers in it, right?
Yeah,
real good,
That's
good.
where it's at.
You know, and I mean, I'm a pumpkin pie guy. Pumpkin pie guy, you know, is my thing. You know, I don't really like any other pies. I like the pumpkin pie with the homemade whipped cream. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But I mean, listen, I will eat anything that you throw on the table as long as it ain't got mushrooms in it.
Jameson
is back in the building.
What's good, brother?
So Roman says, I'm gonna get flamed, but I hate all Thanksgiving food except the turkey.
Yeah, I was kind of like that when I was younger. Like I would only get down with the turkey. But the macaroni and cheese with the turkey, though, it's a good mix, man. It's a good blend. Gets you a little bit of ham. You know what I don't like about the smoked ham vibes? You know how you get that the little piece on the edge that's like just fat kind of surrounding?
Oh, I love it. That's where all the flavor is.
Nah, bro.
I
don't want to be like fighting the ham. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to be fighting the ham, bro.
Big shout out to the homie Rio. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, brother. Tracy is in the building. What's going on, Tracy? Who else got in the building? Oh, here we go. Kid Blue. Happy Thanksgiving. Shout out to Authentic and The Beard for streaming on a holiday.
You know it, bro. You know it. Look, y'all stream was dope yesterday too. Look, I presented a real good one to Kid Blue yesterday because you know me, man. I be trying to pull like the mastermind, like the question that'll make you go, you know, get you angry at first, but then when you really think about it, you be like, oh, he kind of got a point there. I said to Kid Blue, I said, this the plan. If Daniel Jones struggles for the next like 2 to 3 games, you bring in Mike Glennon and prepare him with the first stringers for like at least 2 to 3 games to see if the problem with this offense could be fixed by another average quarterback. So then you could really hit the quarterback market for the 2022 season.
That is not a.
You ain't gonna hear nobody else talking like that.
Oh, no,
and Kid Blue was like, Mike Glennon. And I swear to God, but after about a good minute and a half, he was kind of like, oh, you kind of got a point here.
I can only imagine the authentic, backlash on that sort of deal.
Oh, at first they was like, bro, Mike Glennon. So it got me thinking. I'm about to start a little campaign. You know how they had the free OBJ campaign going on, right? I'm about to do the free. I might get me a hood. You remember how them hood like Young Jeezy t-shirts was? I'm about to get me a free Mike Glennon t-shirt, dog. I might get me a free Mike Glennon t-shirt.
Oh my God, I love it.
You know they gonna start hating me, man. We might lose some subs, but you know I'm in it for the realness, bro.
Hey, you lose them, you gain them. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Jason Ferris that just tuned in. Appreciate Authentic and the Gold. Happy Thanksgiving, gentlemen. HTTR, HTT, WFT. Who else we got in the building? Anybody else talking about some food? I don't want to miss any food.
Hey, Ramblin' Rio said that baked mac and cheese is the GOAT. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you.
Crisp on the
and
top.
Don't, I know some people like to see, I'm one that on Thanksgiving, I don't like my dishes to mix too much, right? I don't want the gravy to hit the mac. I want the mac bake mac and cheese. Don't let the gravy, dribble down into my mac. And now I kind of got a gravy kind of spice going on with the mac and cheese. Not my vibes, bro. Definitely not my vibes. Got to keep that baked mac maybe on a little separate plate like it's a dessert almost.
I love the the marshmallows in my yams and sweet potatoes.
See, I remember you on Thanksgiving. You just whatever. You like that really on any given day, any kind of dinner. Just throw it all on the plate. I'll take care of it. Don't even worry about it.
Look, and the stuffing and the dressing, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, my grandma used to make a really weird one for my dad when he was still around.
Yeah.
Was oyster stuffing, oyster dressing.
Oh, yeah.
So it was like a stuffing or dressing with oysters in it.
My Dukes right there.
No, not my grandma, but dad's side used to make
grandma
it.
and pop's side, okay.
Yeah, and she used to make a sauerkraut with Vienna sausages in it. Man, there used to be some weird things running around on Thanksgiving now that I kind of like started
Yeah, when you go back. I remember eating over there a few times being like, y'all had options because y'all had a lot of people cooking for sure. Y'all had some options. I'd be like, nah,
yeah,
I don't need
it's
none
not
of that.
like that right now because nobody's here. It's
Yeah.
because, with COVID, everybody kind of just sticking back home. So it's just me, my Dukes, Caitlin, Josie coming over, AJ. I don't know. He's at his dad's house right now, so it's real low key over here right now. My Dukes texted me. She said, "Dinner's ready. I'll save you some." I said, "What?" But I like to make a sandwich with the roll, the turkey, and the stuffing.
I do remember you doing that. Yeah, I remember you doing that. Rolls was a big thing over there at Miss Kelly's crib for sure.
I love rolls. Hey,
I
Sebastian,
love
happy
rolls.
happy Thanksgiving. I don't want to make sure I didn't miss nobody else. Bacon, green bean casserole, says Jason Ferris. Yes, cranberry sauce. Don't never understood it. Never will.
Yeah, cranberry sauce is trash. Yeah. They, the Hub was saying yesterday on their stream, cranberry sauce is the. Might have been KB that said it too. Cranberry sauce is the candy corn of Thanksgiving.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what do you use the cranberry sauce for?
I think I see people put it on the ham maybe, but nah, it's not a vibe. It's just not a vibe. It's a fake dessert. Where do we even put that on the plate? Nah, I'm not having it.
Because that's what I'm saying. Like you can't put it in with like there's just I don't know. I never.
I'm a picky eater too. You don't be throwing no cranberry sauce on my plate, yo.
All right, let's go ahead and get into some action. We got 3 games for everybody today. The first game on the docket is going to be the Chicago Bears, who are 3-7. They are 3-point favorites at the Detroit Lions, who are 9-1. The over/under is voted 1.5. Kickoff is at 12:30, about an hour from now. Awthentik, tell me who you got.
This game's interesting. I don't think anybody's ever been 0-9-1. That just sounds like the craziest record. I'm gonna say a prayer for them Lions today for sure, man. Your boy Darnell Mooney. I was telling you I needed to see the proof, right? I think we've seen the proof, man. It's in the pudding right now.
It's in the cranberry sauce.
It's what's the little story where the bear come take the porridge? Which one was that?
I think that's Goldilocks.
Goldilocks, yeah. It's that kind of vibes right now for Darnell Mooney. 16 targets last week, 121 yards, 1 touchdown, man. And the week before that, he even had 2 touchdowns. He had a rushing touchdown and a receiving touchdown. So I definitely like Darnell Mooney in this game. And our boy, man, DeAndre Swift, man, that dude coming off 2 of his best games, too. Last week, 14 carries for 136 yards and 1 touchdown. The week before that, he had 33 carries on 130 yards. It's the first Lions running back to get consecutive 100-yard games in 17 years. Let me say that again. 17 years we ain't seeing back-to-back 100-yard games. DeAndre Swift did that. The passing attack for the Lions definitely continues to struggle here, man. And I think that their running backs are, taking the most of that on their shoulders because they're not panning out. You had Swift had 11 targets last week, but only had 29 yards. So, I don't know how that's going to work out for him. We talked about them, the duo over there, and DeAndre Swift definitely being more the receiving back for sure. I like TJ Hawkinson in this game, man. I like a lot of Lions in this game, surprisingly. I don't know if they're going to get the W in this one, but I don't think it's going to put up a lot of points on the board. That's the thing, too. I think the Bears' defense could be somebody you might want to start in this game, but you never know. The Lions, week 1 came out there and put up a lot of points against San Francisco 49ers. They really haven't done much since then offensively. And the Bears' defense is coming off 2 pretty decent games. I know one of them was with the Ravens here last week with Tyler Huntley at quarterback. They only allowed 16 points on the board. They had an interception on defense. Want to say it got them about around like 10 fantasy points for that defense. So I do like the Bears defense. David Montgomery, definitely messing with him in this game. He's been the feature back since he got back from injury. Since he's gotten back, he has 27 carries for 121 yards, catching 3 passes for 26 yards. So I'm definitely liking that. Definitely not a running back that's going to be out there on the market. Fantasy's been strange this year, man. Like, there hasn't been a lot of people on the market. If you're any good, especially at the running back position, you're usually scooped up on a team. In week 4 against the Lions, he had 106 yards before getting hurt. That's the game that he got hurt in, too, was against the Lions. So I'd look for him to really have a good day-to-day against them Lions. Detroit's offense, man, they've been struggling. They haven't scored 20 points since the opening game against the 49ers, I believe that was. So it's going to be tough for them today, man. Marquise Goodwin, Khalil Herbert, Cole Kmet. I think those are guys you might want to sit today. Marquise Goodwin did have a pretty decent game last week. I think it was like 8 targets, 100 yards, and a touchdown. We don't know if Robinson's going to be back. I was talking to the Beard about this off air a little bit. He was saying Robinson will probably be out this lineup. It's a tough game to judge, man. I think I'm going to have to go with the Bears, man. I think the Bears got enough firepower here to get this W. With Andy Dalton at quarterback, I think they're a better team, too. I know they've been trying out the young boy, Justin Fields, and it's been very shaky for him up and down. That's not the kind of team you want to have a rookie quarterback out there playing. I think, with the veteran leadership from Andy Dalton, they could probably see their way into the end zone, rely on the running game, maybe a couple big plays in the passing game. What's the line here? This is
3.5, I believe, for the Bears.
3.5 for the Bears. Yeah, I'll take the 3.5 for the Bears. I think they cover. I haven't even seen the over/under. I'm gonna take the under.
Okay, so it is 3. It is 3. I don't know if the line has changed or not yet.
There.
But the over/under is 41.5.
Yeah,
so,
I'm gonna take the under on that.
You touched about the Chicago defense. They had 6 sacks last week. And that was against an elusive / mobile, however you want to view it, quarterback in Huntley.
Yeah.
And we know Jared Goff is neither one of those. So there is definitely a possibility. And that Lions offensive line, I keep trying to tell people, like with Goff, Goff is had his his time, and it's probably run out. But that offensive line is horrible. I went back, though, and I looked at the first game matchup, and Goff had a good game against Chicago earlier this year. He was 24 of 38 for 299 yards and 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
That's really a good game, yeah.
So who knows what you're going to get out of Goff in today's game. I mean, this game is going to be all about the running backs, though. Yep. David Montgomery in the first matchup against Detroit, you mentioned he had a great game, 23 carries, 106 yards, 2 touchdowns in that matchup. Darnell Mooney last time against the Lions, 5 catches for 125 yards. So Chicago held Swift to only 49 total yards. So
yeah, and I think Swift is becoming a better running back now. He's getting a little bit more adjusted to that offense for sure.
So I mean, but I'm looking at DeAndre Swift and David Montgomery as probably my top 2 running back plays in DraftKings / FanDuel today. They will probably be the 2 most owned running backs. So you might, have to get creative with some of your other plays so that your lineup will stand out. What's interesting about this game is a lot of people are like, oh my God, who wants to watch the Bears versus the Lions? Well, first of all, the Bears and Lions, both of these teams, specifically the Lions, obviously, are trademark teams on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So, this is, you're never going to see the Detroit Lions play in a primetime game outside of Thanksgiving, most likely. So, this is, and to me, it's when 2 bad teams play each other, it's usually, it's not necessarily always bad. Sometimes it becomes a good game, a competitive game, which is what you kind of really want. You want something to be, within a 1 possession for most of the game. Both of these teams are not scoring points. The Chicago Bears are averaging 16.3 points per game. The Detroit Lions are averaging 16 points per game. But they're both kind of giving up some points. Chicago's giving up 24 points a game. The Lions are giving up 27.3 points per game. So maybe we see some offense here. That's what's going to be intriguing, and both of these teams allow a ton of yards on the ground. The Detroit Lions allow 140.5 yards rushing per game.
Yeah, that defense has definitely been struggling. I got a meme from one of our subscribers. I don't know if you know William Ruffin on Twitter. And he sent me this meme that was like, because at first we thought Tim Boyle was getting the start, and it said Andy Dalton versus Tim Boyle, Happy Thanksgiving, America. And I said, in response, I'd be willing to bet both of them put up more touchdowns than Daniel did on Monday night. And look, because both of these defenses are so bad, I almost want to renege and take the over now because I feel like they might give up a bunch of points, and this game might be like a good 28-24 or something like that. So let me flip-flop. I'm a flip-flop, man. I'm taking over, bro. I'm taking over on this one, man.
You got to love Awthentik. Ruffling some turkey feathers when it comes to Daniel Jones touchdown stats.
Hey, listen, man. Jared Goff versus Daniel Jones was definitely one of the things going around this week on the Awthentik Twitter for sure, with the rating systems and all that. Most of the people's taking Jared Goff, man. I think Jared Goff is in a worse situation here, man. Khalif Raymond being your number one wide receiver over there is a problem.
Okay, I'll give you another guy. I almost forgot his first name. It's Reynolds. He used to be a wide receiver for the Rams.
Josh Reynolds.
Josh Reynolds. I almost called him Jason Justin. I knew it began with a J. Okay, Josh Reynolds. They just picked him up last week, and he played 44 of 46 snaps offensively last week. So he's another guy that you might want to look for as a sleeper guy in your DraftKings lineups, because I mean, if you come in and if you play 44 or 46 snaps, okay, I mean, you're eventually going to get some sort of, production out of that. And I think he's the bare minimum price point on DraftKings at $3,000. So, I mean, you could save a ton of salary if you go with a guy like Josh Reynolds, who saw 44 or 46 snaps in the week he got signed to the squad.
Did he put up any decent numbers? Did he put up some decent numbers?
No, he didn't have any catches, I don't think.
No.
But that was like I think it was the Slop Fest game against Pittsburgh, maybe, or I can't remember the last Lions game. I mean, they're all kind of blended together.
Shout out to homie Adam one time in the building. Yo, what's up, fam?
Big shout out. All right, I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions to cover the 3 points. I don't know if they win, but I think they cover. So if they cover and win, that's a win for everybody, okay? I am going to take the over, though, as well. I think that this is going to be a very interesting game. I think it's going to be a lot more fun than people have anticipated. I did see that we had a question from one of our viewers on Twitch.
Oh, dope.
So I wanted to get to that. It's 12 AC on Twitch. Says, hey, quick question. Should I start Knox, Schultz, or Hawkinson at tight end 1?
Ooh. That's good options. It's good options,
That
man.
is a tough decision here.
Yeah.
I love Knox. I love Schultz. I love Hawkinson.
Yeah, I like Schultz going up against the Raiders. The Raiders' defense is not that great. They got the decent pass rush on the outside. They're struggling to stop the run. So when the Cowboys do pass,
CeeDee Lamb is out.
CeeDee Lamb's out, so I got to pull him out of my lineup. And that yields better for him because, look, you got Cedric Wilson coming in. We're going to cover a lot of that in this game, but you got Cedric Wilson, and I forget number 85, that other wide receiver. Not Moore. Give me 1 second to scroll these notes because I wanted to make a point about homie because he had 2 touchdowns in garbage time against the Broncos. Malik Turner. So I don't think there's a trust relationship there with Dak Prescott and Malik Turner. You got Amari Cooper out the lineup. You got CeeDee Lamb now out of the lineup.
Yeah, I think you got to go
Schultz. Yeah, I like Schultz in that matchup.
I mean, it's definitely a tough situation because those are all very similar tight ends, and each one of them are a tight end that we will talk about and I just talked about. You mentioned Hawkinson throughout today's lineups. So I do like Schultz for sure.
I like Schultz, and I think second I would probably go Hawkinson because Knox is very touchdown dependent, and that the Bills' offense is not clicking the way that they should be right now. They're playing some decent football, but that against the Colts it just looked really bad. And T.J. Hawkinson last week 6 passes. caught on 8 targets. He had 51 yards. So he's kind of back in the mix as far as that offense goes.
Yeah.
I still like Dalton Schultz probably better than all the other 2.
Yeah, definitely understand that. Shout out to Platino Power 2 times.
Big shout out. What's up, fam?
What's up, my favorite football podcast guys?
Hey, that's what's up, man. We appreciate that. He hit me up on Twitter and said, how come nobody talking about Kirk Cousins?
Yeah, I got that message.
Yeah, I think, what is it, 18 touchdowns,
we talk
2
about
interceptions?
him.
We talk about him a little bit, yeah.
21 touchdowns, I think, 2 interceptions.
Is it 21 now? Wow. Whew.
Yeah.
That boy on fire. If they could get that defense right and just get him playing some consistent primetime football, they could make a run.
They're weird. I don't understand how they've had some really bad losses and some really good wins. They're just
if they could just get hot. Like if they could just get hot around the right time, they could be one of those teams that get a wild card and do a New York Giants and make a run. But Kirk Cousins, man, just when them lights is on, it's just like he in panic mode. And they also rely on a short passing game to open up the deep passing game.
Mm-hmm.
So like sometimes they don't get those big plays, and if they don't get those big plays, they'll struggle to compete with teams.
And that was a big win for them against Green Bay last week for sure.
Yeah, huge win, man.
All right, next game on the docket, the Las Vegas Raiders are heading to Jerry's World to take on the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys are coming off of a loss to Kansas City. The Raiders have been in a losing way as of late.
3-game losing streak now.
Yeah, so this is going to be an interesting one. I think the Raiders are 5-5. The Dallas Cowboys are 7-3. The Cowboys were 7.5-point favorites last I checked. The over/under is 51.5. Kickoff is at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. CeeDee Lamb is officially out, ladies and gentlemen. He will not be playing today, so no CeeDee Lamb, no Amari Cooper. They're going to have to rely heavily on the run game. I think Zeke is obviously a little banged up, but he is going to be playing. The Raiders allow 100.
He got the the bruised knee injury that he's dealing with right now. That definitely want to keep your eye on Tony Pollard with that knee injury for sure. I think Tony Pollard's probably going to have a decent day. Me and The Beard was talking about this off air. If Tony Pollard could probably get more touches than Zeke, I'm not too sure about that. I think we'll see probably about an equal, rushing attempts split between the both of them. I definitely like Tony Pollard in this, and I got to get to adjusting some lineups here because I'm going to have to pull out CeeDee Lamb. Might try to move somebody around and try to get Tony Pollard back into my lineup right now. Dak Prescott coming off one of his worst games right now, too, man. The 28 of 43, 216 yards, man. He didn't throw for a passing touchdown in that game, right?
No. Neither quarterback threw for a touchdown in that game.
Yeah, both struggled in that game, man. And his yards per attempt was the season low at 5 yards per attempt, which is pretty awful. I'm looking for Dak Prescott to have a bounce-back game, but with CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper out of the lineup, that's going to be tough. A lot of Giants fans was coming at Dak Prescott last week for the performance because he didn't have his weapons. He didn't have his left tackle, and a lot of people were trying to compare that to Daniel Jones and whatnot. I think this is a good game to kind of really see where Dak Prescott really sits as far as the top 5 quarterback situation, or maybe even just an elite quarterback conversation. Because, without those kind of weapons, if you could come out here, the Raiders defense is not that great. So if you can come out here and put up a decent game, that will be – it will speak volumes for a guy like Dak Prescott who just really got that bag and that big contract. Derek Carr in this game, I think, is a very sketchy start. You talked about it, man. The Raiders have pretty much been on a skid here, man. 3-game losing streak here. After their bye. And the Cowboys defense is no slouch, man. They just pretty much shut down Matt Ryan and they shut down Patrick Mahomes. Dan Quinn definitely got this defense popping right now, man. Derek Carr has 4 interceptions in his last 3 games. This is a really hard game for me to judge, man. With the Cowboys wide receivers knocked out, is Michael Gallup going to step up in the lineup? He pretty much, had an unimpressive start, when he got back off the injury. Did see a season-high 10 targets in Week 11, but it just didn't really pan out to big numbers fantasy-wise. This is Amari Cooper now is going to be out for 2 weeks now, right? This is 2 weeks in a row? Yep. And this is COVID-related?
Yeah, he's unvaccinated. So it has to be 10 days, and because of the short turnaround in this game, you can't play. Can't play, can't go.
That's tough to have your number 1 wide receiver out.
Michael Irvin went in on him.
He did about not being vaccinated?
Yes.
Irvin got no cut cards, bro. He got no cut cards, man. That's a true OG right there, man. But I definitely like Cedric Wilson in this game without CeeDee Lamb. Now that's going to be amazing for Cedric Wilson, who's like, when he has been in the lineup with Michael Gallup banged up, has done some things. And I like Tony Pollard in this one. Zeke, you might want to keep your eyes on him. I mean, I know if you got him in your lineup, you probably feel like you got to start him. But also shout out to Greg Zuerlein, man. I scooped him up off the waiver wire one time. I was very surprised to see him out there. He's been kicking fantastic this year. So we don't talk about kickers that much on the parlay, but definitely liking Greg Zuerlein in this matchup. Got to show him some love.
Unless they're play for the Washington football team and they're really bad, or you got Joey Sly.
I thought you were going to say they blew it. Because
they blew it.
that'd have been a good pun right there. But homie made a couple of kicks down. Is he down in Carolina now? Dustin Hopkins.
Hopkins. He's the Chargers kicker.
He's a Chargers kicker.
The Chargers
why does he
love
sound like
taking
an actor?
old Washington kickers.
They do. Who's the actor though? Is Dustin something Hop something, right? I feel like there's an actor.
Yeah, it is.
That name. Every time I say that kicker's name, I'm like, am I getting that wrong? Am I botching
I think it's Dustin Hopkins, too.
Is he Dustin Hopkins?
It's not Dustin. It can't be Dustin Hopkins. I know exactly what you're talking about, though. I know exactly what you're talking about. So who are you going to go with, yo? You want to wait until I give you some nuggets? Maybe change your mind?
Yeah, let me get the nuggets.
So you don't have to flip-flop?
Yeah. Okay. We don't want to flip-flop on the over-under for sure.
Look, I like the Raiders in this game. So much so that I put down my own money. Dustin Hoffman, that's what it is.
There you go.
I put down money on a parlay, and I took the Raiders straight up money line. Okay? So, last week, Dallas Cowboys allowed 5 sacks. The Raiders are averaging at least 2.5 sacks per game. They had 3 sacks last week. Ngakoue and Max Crosby coming off the edge. I love it. We talked about this before the show about how their interior is not that good. And when we started off just on the breakdown of this game, I was saying how, Raiders allow 132 yards per game. That's 29th in the NFL. Now, if the Raiders want to win, they're going to have to fix their third down issues because the last 3 weeks, their third downs have been horrendous. You want to know how many third downs they've converted in the last 2 weeks? Total?
Two. Yeah.
2.
Because I remember there was like one for something crazy just last week. Like one for 13 or it was something crazy. I remember something crazy.
So they've only converted 2 third downs in the last 2 weeks. In the last 3 weeks, they've only converted 21.4% of their third downs. That's last in the NFL over the last 3 weeks. Their defense has allowed 53.5% conversion rate on third down. That's 31st in the NFL. Dallas is
right here. Hoffman, tomato.
Shout
out to
and Dallas is second in the league in third down defense. So they're going to have to find a way. Now, Dallas, don't look for Dallas to get anything deep down the field. I think that's why it's going to be a big game for Schultz, and you might see a lot of Tony Pollard because the Raiders' defense against the long ball is really good. They're actually second in the league in yards per attempt at 6.5 yards, and they're first in the league in yards per catch, only allowing 9.7 yards per catch. That's first in the National Football League.
Wow.
So and Wilson and Gallup, they're kind of like those sort of stretchy wide receivers.
Yeah,
so,
Wilson can get you the yak, I feel like, and Gallup can stretch the field when playing well.
So we're gonna have to find somebody who's gonna go across the middle in this game, and I'd imagine that's gonna have to be Schultz. But listen, the Raiders have some good weapons offensively. It's just a matter of they're going to have to run the ball. They're going to have to not be afraid to run the ball. They have Jacobs, they have Drake, but they just never really get the amount of volume.
Yeah, that's against the Giants, that was the biggest problem with them. I felt like they could have ran the ball on us all day, but because the way the score was, they kind of pressed the issue a little bit too early and start, trying to get Derek Carr back there, throwing the ball a little bit too much. But they should rely on Jacobs. In this game, I think that both teams need to rely on the run heavy in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that especially with the injuries that Dallas is facing, like
Yeah.
it would be smart for them to run the ball. And then the Raiders, if you watch the Broncos play, if you watch the Chiefs play, they established the run. That's what led them to having a good defensive game is by establishing the run. And weapon wise, outside of that, if you start running the ball, you're going to open things up for Renfro, who's one of the best route runners in the NFL, who will kill
Yeah,
you in
I
the
don't know if I
intermediate
give you
stuff.
that, but I hear you. I hear you.
Maybe I
He-
should say at his slot position.
yeah, because
He's one of he
he don't got
reminds me a
that
lot of
burst.
Cooper
That's
Cup,
the
the
problem.
way they run routes. Him and Cooper
Yeah,
Cup run
a
routes
bit
very
like Cup.
similar. Yeah,
Just not
and
as
so
sharp as I would like, but he does. They run some creative routes with him, like some extended routes where he'll do like a Z out and he'll have like a third kind of a angle off the route, like new
mhm.
style routes, which I do like that with him. And you remember that
It-
little highlight I put together of him in the
yeah,
preseason? That juke was
yeah.
just crazy.
He's crazy. It's crazy. And then obviously Darren Waller, I mean, so you got Jacobs, Renfro, Waller, Drake. They can put it together. I am going to take the Las Vegas Raiders to shock the world and defeat the Dallas Cowboys today by a final score of 24-17.
Yeah, I don't think them Nuggets gonna make me change my opinion here. I'm I'm going with the Cowboys, man. I feel like, and I'm super high on Derek Carr. I think he's a really solid quarterback in a bad situation. When you got Renfro now, and even when Ruggs was still there, Renfro was still pretty much like the number one guy. Ruggs was kind of taking a lot of heat off him though by running those vertical routes and things like that, taking safeties out of the way. I just don't think he got enough weapons over there. Waller is definitely, top three tight end in the league. But when you look at the competition that the Raiders have faced and how they've played against that competition, man, they're kind of a letdown, man. And maybe that record is a little bit overrated because, since the upset that they had week one against the Ravens, where they beat the Ravens 33-27, some of these scores and some of these teams they played are just like not that great. They beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, who we know have been struggling all year long, pretty much. They struggled to beat the Dolphins in week three. They only beat the Dolphins by 3 points in a 31-28 win.
I remember
They
that
lost to
game.
the Chargers 28-14. They lost to the Bears, bro, 20-9. Then they beat the Broncos, who the Broncos have been an up and down team, which the Broncos remind me of the Raiders a lot. They have like some pieces. When Jerry Jeudy was out the lineup, it made it very difficult for them to score touchdowns and whatnot, and they struggled a bit. And the Raiders did take care of the Broncos, but the Broncos are not a really good team. They
But
took
the
care of the
Broncos beat the
Eagles.
Cowboys.
The Broncos did beat the Cowboys, but you can't. I used to look at football like that when I was a kid, and people do that to me on Twitter. They be like, "Well, Daniel Jones had a better game against the Chiefs than Dak Prescott had against the Chiefs, so Daniel Jones is a better quarterback." And I'm like, we can't look at football like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they did have that good game against the Eagles where they were blowing them out for pretty much the whole game. I believe it was 33-7 at one point in that game. The Eagles, came back late in the fourth quarter. I'm not going to say garbage time. The Beard hates that. And then they lost to the Giants, and we know the Giants are not a good team. Chiefs just blew them out the Chiefs have had
Oh,
their best game against the Raiders 2 weeks
yeah.
ago, and the Bengals came back and blew them out recently. That's their 3-game losing streak, the Giants, the Chiefs, the Raiders. If you take away the Chiefs victory over the Raiders, the Chiefs, people aren't going to be that high on the Chiefs, but that's the game that got people going. Maybe the Chiefs are back, and maybe they are that team that was in the Super Bowl last year. So for me, I got to go with the Cowboys in this game. We saw how the Cowboys responded after the Broncos blew them out. They came out there, and I believe that was Atlanta. They embarrassed them. I was calling that the deep frying. They put them in the deep fryer. So I got to go with the Cowboys in this game. I think it'll be high scoring because Derek Carr's, he's fighting for his life here. And when you have a 3-game losing streak like that, you really don't want that to get to 4. So I'm gonna take the over in this game, and I'm gonna take the Cowboys to cover.
Okay, let me ask you this: if the Raiders completely shut down, so maybe not completely shut down. If the Raiders can hold the Cowboys to under 100 yards rushing, do you think they have a chance to win the game?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
like
I think they have a
just
chance to win the game regardless. Even if you have a good day from Zeke and Pollard, let's say you get like 150 plus, right, from the both of them, the passing game shouldn't go crazy from the Cowboys with their wide receivers out. So I think the Raiders got a chance. I just think the clock is gonna be controlled by the Cowboys with the run, and it's not gonna give Derek Carr enough time to be able to really put the points up on the board. We saw the formula with Jason Garrett and the Giants, which is crazy to say right now. But we
yeah.
did see the formula. All we did was run the rock all day on them. we forced Derek Carr to press the issue when he got the ball. And if the Cowboys can get out to an early lead, that's what I'll say about this game too. Whoever gets out to the early lead, especially if it's a 2-score lead, they're going to win the game.
And that's, I think, the biggest thing is we've seen what happens when Dallas jumps out early on people.
Yeah.
They start panicking. They go for it on 4th down. And then next thing you know, it just spirals out of control. So it's going to be an interesting game. We'll see how there's going to be a lot of pressure on Dak and Zeke to hold down the fort without CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper, So
let me ask you who you like here. I'm about to take CeeDee Lamb out of one of my lineups.
Okay.
I got Tyler. I got so much wide receiver depth. It's just ridiculous. I got Tyler Lockett, Chase Claypool, Kenny Galladay, Devonta Smith. You want some projections too? Smith is projected for 11.6, Claypool 13.5, Lockett 14.2. Lockett's going up against Washington, Claypool against the Bengals, Devonta Smith is going up against the Giants, Kenny Galladay going up against the Philadelphia Eagles.
I think I like Claypool the best. Now, the thing is you have options because you can, go with any of those people when you get closer to the end of the week. And you guys can tune in this Sunday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time for all of your Sunday fantasy football advice from Awthentik and The Beard. So,
Big facts.
that's the good choice. The good thing about that is, especially in these Thursday Thanksgiving games when you have 3 games, so there's going to be a lot of action already out there. So it kind of gives you a little bit of flexibility on Sunday. I do like Chase Claypool out of those. That Seattle offense just scares me. They've been playing so bad. Normally I'd be like, if you would ask this game matchup, 4 or 5 weeks ago, I'd have been like, yeah, start Lockett against the Washington
Lockett
football
started
team.
off hot, man. He hasn't scored a touchdown in a couple weeks here, man.
It's been pretty bad over there lately. And then I don't know, Devonta Smith, Kenny Galladay. If I had to choose between one of the two of them, I'd probably choose Devonta Smith. He is clear-cut number 1 wide receiver in Philadelphia.
Yeah,
but you never know how many times you're going to pass the ball.
Temporarily, I went Lockett, but I think I'm going to lean towards Devonta Smith. Awthentik and The Beard, we really like Jalen Hurts over there, man. And granted, he has limited passing ability for sure. And they're relying on their running game, but that's kind of what scares me about Devonta Smith. But I might go Devonta Smith. Shout out to the homie Ash Money one time in the building. Ash Money says if we go to the Washington Giants game at the end of the year, he's trying to ride up with us, man. So if we do that, man, Ash Money, you definitely welcome. I see Jameson's about to roll out, but then he said hello to Mr. Mini Guy, so I don't know if he's going to roll out. With Jameson leaving the chat, it's kind of like the boy who cried wolf. I don't ever believe it. When he says bye, I'm like, he'll probably be back, man. Shout out Jameson. Shout out Ash Money one time in the building. Giants Nation is in the building. I think Jameson is a Giants fan. I think so, right?
I know he's an Atlanta Braves fan.
And we know he's an Atlanta Braves fan. We do know that. Congrats to them Atlanta Braves one time too, man. But yeah, I'm going Cowboys in that one. We go to this next one.
Last game of the day is the Buffalo Bills, who are 6-4 and 6.5-point favorites, headed to New Orleans to play the Saints, who are 5-5. The over/under is 45.5. Kickoff is tonight at 8:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Both of these teams are coming off of losses in which they allowed 40 or more points. Awthentik, tell me what you got.
Well, I'll tell you this, man. That Saints defense, we know they were the number 1 rushing defense going into that game last week against the Eagles, but the Eagles just ran all over them for 200-plus yards on the ground. Now, with the Buffalo Bills, though, with their running situation, remember we talked about Devin Singletary and Zach Moss last week. They both really can't get it together. The Buffalo Bills look like the Buffalo Bills from about a year and a half ago when they just really couldn't run the ball at all.
Matt Breida was getting touches up there.
Yeah, and he wasn't doing nothing with the touches either, man. So I'm sitting every running back on the Buffalo Bills today. I don't think they're going to be able to have anywhere near the kind of success that the Eagles had on the ground against the Saints. So I'm sitting Matt Breida. I'm sitting Devin Singletary. I'm sitting Zach Moss. My sleeper in this game is Gabriel Davis. I think he could maybe have a good game here. Cole Beasley also, I think, is a start. Emmanuel Sanders has been on a slump here, man. He had the most yards depth per target in the whole NFL, but they're not throwing the ball down the field to him. So I'm sitting Emmanuel Sanders this week. Definitely love Josh Allen, Stefan Diggs. We talked about Dawson Knox a little bit earlier in the show. Very touchdown dependent. Week 10, though, he had 6 catches on 10 targets for 80 yards, so I like that. Now, Taysom Hill is a really interesting player in this matchup because he just signed a really unique 4-year deal here. It's a contract extension that the Saints gave him. It could be worth anywhere from $40 million to $95 million, depending on the position he plays. So if he gets to be the starting quarterback, he will he'll get some more money in the situation there. And I don't know what they're going to do because the kid, Trevor Simeon, who I think throws a nice ball, but it's the other things that he has a problem with, the pocket awareness and scanning the field and stuff like that. He went 22 of 40 last week for 214 yards. He had 3 touchdowns, but he also had 2 interceptions against the Eagles. This will be his 3rd straight game with at least 3 scores that he had. But he's also throwing a lot of interceptions. The Saints are 0-3 in every one of those starts with Simeon. You got no Alvin Kamara in this game, but we are going to have Mark Ingram. It's looking like in the starting lineup. I like Mark Ingram.
Game-time decision.
It's going to be a game-time decision for sure. And if they don't have no Mark Ingram, the Saints are going to be hit. It's going to be really tough for them to put up some points on the board. Man, I think I got to go with the Bills bounce back. They just got their butts kicked against the Colts. I got to go with the Bills in this one. I'm going to take the over. I think it'll be a high-scoring game. I think that Sean Payton will find a way to get the ball in the end zone, whether it be through Taysom Hill or through Trevor Simeon. We don't know. But, yeah, I got to go Bills in this one, and I think they cover as well.
Platino Power 2 times says Sean Payton is undefeated when playing on any holiday.
That's gangster right there. I wonder how many games that is. Saints don't traditionally play on Thanksgiving.
They play it. They feel like they've been playing a lot of these night games since they started the night Thanksgiving games.
Oh, the later ones. Yeah, because we used to only get 2 games. That's right. We used to only get the early one in the 4 o'clock window.
And good old Don Vito, comedian himself, with the $1.99 super chat.
My cousin looking kind of thick, no cap. That's awful. Don Vito.
Thanks, Don. Appreciate it, buddy.
Don Vito.
You've been doing a little early drinking there, huh?
Kind of thick, no cap. He just said. Oh, Don Vito
Lord
is a
have
fool,
mercy.
man. We appreciate you pulling up, man. Happy Thanksgiving, Don Vito.
Look, Cameron Jordan for the Saints, he's got to get pressure on Josh Allen. They're going to need somebody to step up. He's been playing pretty good. He's a guy that's consistently, going to give you the effort, going to give you some production. The Bills are going to have to establish some sort of run game because with Josh Allen needs something, to kind of throw the defense off a little bit. 2-0 on Halloween, 1-0 on Christmas, 3-0 on Thanksgiving.
It's gangster.
6-0.
That's how you celebrate the holidays. Big facts.
Interesting. Very interesting. I think he's going to get his first loss today, though. Josh Allen, 2+ touchdown passes in 8 of his last 9 games. Stefan Diggs has come on strong the last couple of weeks after this sort of up and down season. He's got a touchdown catch in his last 2 games, and Stefan Diggs traditionally fries the New Orleans Saints. Obviously, most of those numbers of production came when he was with the Minnesota Vikings, but we all know he is that guy and definitely has that ability. It'll be interesting to see that Lattimore situation if he kind of is, where he's at as far as on the field with Diggs. You talked about Dawson Knox. I think that was like his high in catches last week was 6 catches. The season high for sure. So It's interesting. It's good to see them kind of get him more involved and not just so touchdown reliant like we talk about all the time. Simeon, though, he like you said, he's 0-3, but he's got 2 touchdowns plus in each of those 3 games that he's started. So, I mean, if you want to look to save some salary and you want to play a quarterback that I guarantee you nobody else is probably playing on DraftKings, Trevor Simeon is that guy.
Yeah, nah, I can't go that far. I can't go that far.
So, and Marquez Callaway has been the number 1 guy since Simeon has come on. In those 3 games that Simeon has started and thrown at least 2 touchdowns, Callaway has caught at least 1 touchdown in 3 straight games. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Callaway. He's a talented wide receiver.
Yeah. I drafted him in like the last round of almost all my drafts because of that connection that I saw in the preseason with him and Jameis Winston. And obviously things just kind of never really got to that full click mode between everybody on that offense.
Speaking of Trevor Simeon, just wanted to pull up his game logs here. In the last, he's got the last 4. He's played in the last 4 games. He had 10 points week 8. He had 15.96 week 9. This is PPR. And against Tennessee in Week 10, he had 19.9, and then he had 24.1 last week against the Philadelphia Eagles.
He's putting up some solid numbers with
Yeah,
Simeon.
that's decent. It's not
Yeah.
bad.
Not bad at all. Can't complain. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills. I'm going to take the Saints to cover the spread, though. I think the Saints kind of make this a close game. I think Buffalo does edge them out, and I am also going to take the over-under. Now, I am going to have to keep my eyes on Mark Ingram all day. If Mark Ingram doesn't play, Tony Jones Jr., just in case anybody was wondering.
Yeah.
My man out of Notre Dame.
Tony Jones Jr.
And I think the other running back besides him is Dwayne Washington, former Raiders running back amongst a few other teams.
That's tough.
But those are your depth players at the running back position.
I want to pick the Saints too. I really do want to pick the Saints. I want to flip flop and pick them because last Thanksgiving, you remember that was Alvin Kamara's best game of his career, and I know he's out the lineup.
Touchdowns.
He had the 6 touchdowns, and I don't know, maybe that Sean Payton streak could just lend its way to a victory for the Saints, no matter who's in the backfield.
That's why you just take them to cover, man. Because if they win,
what's up,
you look
DZ?
good.
DZ says the Saints getting blown out. It could go that way. Did I get any upset picks? I picked Dallas, and I picked the Bears. I'm flip-flopping, man. I'm going Saints outright. Give me the Saints. Forget it.
Awthentik had to put one in there. Let me just take that off so we have a clean screen for a Twitter clip.
Saints, I'm going with the Saints for the upset here. The Bills have not been playing consistent ball. They definitely been blowing some teams out certain weeks. If the Saints could find a way to run the ball, especially if Mark Ingram is healthy, I think they got a shot in this game, man. And I'm going with Platno Powers, consistency streak from the homie Sean Payton right now. He said he was 2-0
on Halloween, 1-0 on Christmas, 3-0 on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I don't know if we can mess that up. And maybe we just messed it up by trying not to mess it up right there, but that's what it's going to be. We're going with the Saints here. We're going with the Saints.
And Twitter clip.
And Twitter clip right there. We'll put it up on Twitter if I'm wrong.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I mean, listen, we got to get a greatest hits here going soon because there's been quite a few moments.
Oh,
I mean, we've had some of the past season moments, the Ezekiel Elliott,
Ezekiel.
Try to say it.
Ezekiel.
The rookie wide receiver.
You don't know one black dude named Ezekiel.
I do. Denzel Washington.
Denzel's in Ezekiel?
Oh, no, that was Eli. Sure. I got my books mixed up.
Ali Akbar in the building. Happy Thanksgiving, fam. Good to see you pulling up one time.
Shout out Ali Akbar. So we did put together a fantasy football. Yeah, we did put together a fantasy football lineup last week, and I will tell you, early on, it was looking really good because Jalen Hurts was super low owned, and he was off to a great start, and so it was.
Oh yeah, you sent it to me. I'll pull it up for you.
Okay. So yeah, we were off to a good start. For a majority of the first half of the game, we were like cashing with this lineup, and then some of the other players they came on very late. George Kittle, it took like till the fourth quarter till he caught a touchdown. Brandon Cooks, even though Houston Texans won, Brandon Cooks obviously didn't put up the big game. Devonta Smith, as we know, Jalen Hurts had all of the touchdowns pretty much.
Yeah.
And then Ingram was kind of the Dolphins defense didn't play well at all.
Was this the lineup that we lost because Jonathan
Taylor? Jonathan Taylor. I mean, if you didn't have Jonathan Taylor in your lineups last week, there was no hope for you.
Yeah.
So we did not cash on this lineup, but and this is the thing that's crazy is like we've been the last 2 weeks that we've done this, right? Our lineup construction, the thought process behind it has been really good, and like the part of it has hit, but it's so difficult with this because you have to make the whole lineup hit, and a lot of it, for those of you that don't know, you only get a certain amount of money to spend on, so you have to construct these lineups based upon a salary cap. So, and you don't want to have the same players that everybody else has because then it makes it more difficult to win, So you got to have some sort of, different balance between having the right players and then having players that nobody else has that outperforms their salary pretty much.
One thing I'm realizing about these lineups is you got to go with winning teams. Next year when I draft fantasy, that's why our combined fantasy team is so good. Outside of DeAndre Swift, all those players are on great teams that we have. We went heavy with the Ravens. We got Devontae Adams from the Packers, and we picked a lot of players that are on winning teams. And I think with fantasy, you can't look at teams that even though they have a good player, they're not a good team because then you're not going to have a consistent player on your roster. So I know I'm learning on the fly myself here. I think this is probably like my 6th or 7th year really digging into fantasy football, like really heavy. And next year when I draft, I'm all these running backs on teams that are bad. Like Saquon Barkley is one of the biggest fantasy busts this year for everybody. Even CMC was struggling early on this year. And then you got to deal with injuries on teams, especially when you got people playing behind offensive lines that are really bad offensive lines. So I'm taking that advice with me into next season for sure. And I think next year I'm going to have a really, really successful year fantasy-wise. But that combined team we got, I think we've won 6 or 7 straight games on that team. And a lot of it is just off the strength of just players that are on winning squads.
Absolutely. Got to give a big shout out to the homie Paulie. Hail to the W.
Paulie.
My man, appreciate you stopping by. Enjoy your day, brother. Always appreciate the love.
Big facts.
Quick question before we get to today's fantasy lineup. Duran Osman wants to know Russell Wilson or Cam Newton. For me, that is easy peasy Cam Newton.
Yeah, Cam would seem to be the easy pick right there for sure. Who the Panthers going up against this week? I can't remember.
Panthers have. I should know this.
Dolphins? Ooh.
I think so, yeah. Dolphins.
That's 20. Yeah, it's the Dolphins. I'm looking for Russell Wilson to have a bounce-back game because he can't just keep playing bad like this for the rest of the year. That's why I was kind of leaning towards putting Tyler Lockett in my lineup. But I feel you, man. I think Cam, he looked really good throwing the ball this past week against Washington. He played winning football in a loss to Washington too. And you got to keep the thought open that Cam can get those rushing touchdowns when he's in the red zone. So I got to go Cam too.
Yeah, it just makes more sense.
Yeah.
All right, so today is only 3 games, so the lineup has to be made amongst 3 games. I put together 6 lineups, and we kind of wavered. I kind of wavered between a Dak Prescott lineup and the lineup we're going to put up on the screen right now, which is, I believe, Andy Dalton. So we have Andy Dalton.
You know I'm sketchy with this lineup.
I mean, look, I talked about Montgomery and Swift, and they're probably going to be heavily owned by a lot of people. Same with Stefan Diggs. But if Dalton Mooney can get us 1 touchdown, I think that'll help us.
That's a good stack to have. But then if the Bears fall flat, wow. And then Edwards at wide receiver. That's where I'm worried at wide receiver. Receiver and quarterback. Yeah.
Now, if Edwards can sneak us a touchdown too, that'd be really good. Darren Waller has to have a big game. Cole Beasley, I think he's been banged up with a rib injury, but he's
defense you like.
Raiders defense. Now listen, my biggest cash team from last week, DraftKings, was because I had the Chiefs defense.
Yeah.
And nobody else had the Chiefs defense, and they put up 15 points for me on DraftKings. So I think more people are probably going to play the Raiders defense now that CeeDee Lamb is officially out.
Yeah.
But I still think they're going to be low owned for sure. So
yeah.
Just want to give a big shout out to the homie Nick the Wick, who's checking in from Aruba. Talk about a way to spend your Thanksgiving,
what's up, bro.
Shout out to Nick the Wick. We appreciate you, brother.
in the building. What's up, bro?
Enjoy your time in Aruba, young man.
Yes, sir. Have a blast.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got you here. Hopefully, you guys can take it the rest of the way. It's going to be a long day of football. The games are so spread out. Now, what's the weird part is watching football on Thanksgiving reminds you, or for those of you that don't know what it was like, what football was like before Red Zone.
Yeah,
because
that's true.
There's only one, like, you know what it's like to watch a Monday night game, right? But now you got 3 games all day that are going to feel so long.
Yeah, it's going to be
because
slow.
It's
gonna
commercials. So, you know what I'm saying? Gets you maybe like a 30-minute power nap, in between that afternoon and night game. But I think these matchups are going to be a lot more interesting than people have put them out to be today.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. Anytime I get to eat food, kick it with family, you know what I'm saying? I get to go to Abuela's house, watch football. So it's going to be a fun time. And once again, I just want to stress how absolutely incredibly thankful we are for you guys. Big shout out to Lax for the $4.99 super chat. Jarvis Landry, Cedric Wilson, Jalen Waddle, or Mitchell Wilson Jr. I can flex too. What are your thoughts? I'm going to go with Jalen Waddle and either Mitchell Wilson, whichever one of those two gets the start.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. The Browns are going up against the Ravens on Sunday night game. That's going to be a good Sunday night game.
Yeah.
Last time those two teams played, well, actually it was last year, not last time, but last time they played, yeah, that was last time they played because this is their first matchup of the year. That was a high-scoring game, and it was a primetime game as well. I think that was the game where Lamar Jackson had to take a dookie at the halftime. Came back and got the W for them. But because I like Jarvis Landry, but I don't like that matchup. So I'm with you on that, man. I'd go Waddle and either Cedric Wilson or the split between Mitchell and Wilson Jr.
Waterfly. I am taking the Heineke experiment one game at a time. I'm not going to focus on the future until the future is the now.
Is that a new profile pick for Waterfly right there?
No, I think that's the
same one?
OG Waterfly.
Maybe I just never looked at that.
Big shout out Jeff Maldo. Good to see you, buddy. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well.
Happy Thanksgiving.
And big shout out to Tuto for the $4.99 super chat. Says Saluti Paisani. Drop by your office to pay our proper respects and turn on the lights for the sit down and crush all slimy. He added slimy this time. Slimy stinky Eagles fans. Loser.
Laces out, cuz laces
Big
out.
shout out to Marcus Valdez, who's checking us out on Facebook. Says half point per reception. Marcos, my bad, Marcos.
Hey, Marcos looked like he'll flex and knock somebody out in that profile pic. Shout out Marcos one time in the building, bro.
He says half PPR flex, Gallup, Dillon, or Cordell Patterson. Okay, so we'll answer that one first. If Cordell Patterson is playing, I'm definitely going Cordell Patterson. In half point, in half PPR, I mean, Gallup could get everything today, or they could completely flop. That's super difficult for me. I think you might have to play Gallup because you don't know about Peterson's health.
You don't like AJ Dillon?
I love A.J. Dillon. You know that.
Yeah.
The volume for Gallup and Patterson, like Gallup is going to be the guy today, and Cordell Patterson, if he's healthy, he is the entire offense.
That's
if you're not going to go Gallup, then you could play Dillon and wait and see what happens with Patterson, because the Falcons are playing the Jaguars
the Jags,
too.
Yeah. I mean, he is coming off that injury, but yeah, I think I go Patterson in the first slot there, and my runner-up would probably be A.J. Dillon. I just, I want to see it from Michael Gallup first,
The tight end part of this question: Kyle Pitts, Schultz, or Knox?
I like Kyle Pitts.
Gotta go.
We
Kyle
like
Pitts.
Schultz too, man. We like Schultz.
I love
as well.
Schultz because of no CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, he could be the guy today.
But Pitts is the number one in Atlanta, and they're playing Jacksonville.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah, you
that
got
for
to look
me.
for Atlanta to put up some points. So I think I'd go Pitts, and I'd go Pitts, and I'd go Dillon. I'd go Dillon.
Not mad at it. Not mad at it at all. And big shout out to Brad checking in on YouTube. Wants to know Darnell Mooney or Gallup full PPR.
It's another tough one too because Mooney's coming off that game where he had just so many targets.
And he had 125 yards against the Detroit earlier this year.
Yeah, and you can't say it's against a bad defense because it was up against the Ravens. I think I like Mooney. I think I like Mooney in this matchup here.
Yeah, I don't know. Gallup and Wilson together without CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper, it makes things a little bit different.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for sure.
And the last one of the day. Big shout out to Surdoc from Surdocs Connection for the $5 super chat. Says, who do I start today? Pumpkin pie or sweet potato pie? I'm pumpkin pie all the way, man.
Yeah, I go pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie for the win. Appreciate it, Sir Doc. Man, listen, this has been a lot of fun. I know everybody is either on the road, they're already getting ready for food, they're prepping food.
Yeah.
We're getting ready to kick off is in 12 minutes. I can't thank you guys enough for joining Awthentik and The Beard on Thanksgiving morning. We hope you guys, were able to take a break away from the madness that can be Thanksgiving if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time and somebody's cooking and you don't want to get hit with a pot upside the back of your head. We really do appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoy your family, enjoy a day off. And for those of you that are working, we are thankful for you guys because you guys are the ones that are making the major sacrifice here on a day like today. You can't be with your family. So shout out to everybody who's got to work today. And we're super thankful here at Awthentik and The Beard for everything, every day, every stream, every like, every comment, every share, every tweet.
Yeah, man.
We love it. We can't do it without you guys.
It, man. And make sure everybody has a good Thanksgiving. Make sure y'all eat good. Make sure y'all watch some football. Hopefully y'all get some good football. Make sure you chief good if you about that. Like the Beard just said, man, we can't do this without y'all, man. I have a blast every time we do one of these shows, man. This one of my favorite things to really do, man, outside of, making music and engineering. Podcasting has became a second love for sure, man. So before we get up out of here, I see a lot of people in the chat already got to it. Let's see some biceps in that chat one time. Y'all know what it is. Left side.
Strong side.
Hey, man.
Also, don't forget, Sunday morning, 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Parlay, and Friday night at 7 o'clock on my Over the Years YouTube channel, I'm doing a massive Black Friday live sale. It's going to be probably like 60 items, give or take. And we're going to be doing $300 worth of giveaways. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It'll be a great opportunity to maybe find something for your mom, your sister, your wife, your girlfriend, something like that. So definitely check us out if you get a chance. And yeah, just had to throw out those quick little plugs.
Yeah, we'll try to put something in the community tab too as well, so y'all can have a link to the giveaways and the auction the Beard is going to be doing for sure. But y'all know what it is, man. We definitely couldn't do this without the fam one time in the building, man. We appreciate all the biceps. We appreciate everybody pulling up, chopping it up with us on a Thanksgiving, man, spending y'all time with us in the morning here before football popped off, man. Everybody make sure you eat good, like I said, man. And, man, keep raising that bar. Keep living those dreams. Y'all know what it is, man. We'll catch y'all on the parlay and also look for maybe another stream in between one of those two. We'll definitely keep y'all in the loop with that. Until then, man, we'll catch y'all, man. Y'all be good.
Peace.